Hello, I Dr. Niradhar Dev, faculty members, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all on behalf of School of Education and on my personal behalf. Friends, yesterday we discussed about an introduction of the courses of education as a subject under BA General Program as per the CBCS pattern, choice based credit system of UGC, which is implemented by Indira Gandhi National Open University since July 2019 session. Friends, I have told you earlier that education as a disciplinary subject, education as a liberal subject, as a liberal discipline, and education as a knowledge based subject that has been included as a part of BA General Program starting from July 2020 session, means during this COVID-19 pandemic situation. Friends, in the first semester, that is in July 2020 session, till date, the information that I have received, that we have received a very, you can say, very good response, that till now more than 8,000 learners they have registered to this subject, that is education. They have opted to this subject education in BA General Program. Yesterday we have discussed about the course introduction, detailed structure of different courses of education as a subject in BA program, and today we are going to discuss the first semester course, that is BESC 131. Course title is Education, Concept, Nature and Perspective. This is Shiksha, Sampradaya, Prakriti एवं परिप्रेक्ष्य. Friends, you know, we have developed this program, the BA General Program, as per the choice based credit system of UGC, that is in both the languages, in Hindi as well as in English. So that's why the learning materials that you will get in both the languages. Okay, this is available in eGyanKosh portal of the website of Indira Gandhi National Open University. You will get all the soft copy material of this course in block wise as well as in the unit wise, both in English as well as in Hindi version, and equally you can also access course material both in English and Hindi in IGNOU Students app. Okay, so let us try to understand that what is the course structure of this first course, that is BESC 131, Concept, Nature, Education, Concept, Nature and Perspectives, and what type of content points, what type of concept, what type of understanding, what type of skill oriented content that has been included in this course. Friends, before discussing the particular aspect of this course, let me to give a very brief overview about the BA General Program, BAG program, as education as a subject is a part of this program. At present, 13 disciplines or subjects are now in the part of this program. They are anthropology, English, economics, Hindi, history, mathematics, political science, psychology, public administration, Sanskrit, sociology, Urdu and education. Friends, I have already explained you that IGNOU has launched this CBCS BA General Program, that is from July 2019 session, and we have included, School of Education has included education as a subject, as a disciplinary subject, as a liberal subject starting from July 2020 session, and earlier 12 subjects was introduced in this BA General Program, and in July 2020 education discipline has been included. So now it is 13 discipline, and the total credit of the program is of 130 credits, and the medium of instruction of the program is English as well as Hindi. Then again, let me to just give you a detailed overview about different categories of the courses that has been included in this BA General Program as per the CBCS pattern. You see, the courses that has been designed in 5 different categories. Just like the first category is core courses, we call it is CC, core courses, and you will find 12 courses are there under this core course, and each course is having 6 credits. So, total 72 credits you have to study, you have to learn, you have to earn in BA General program from this category, from core course category. You see, the total credit of this course is, of this program, BA General program, is 132. Out of 132, you are supposed to study 72 credits that is from the core courses. That means you try to understand that the contribution of core courses, the percentage of contribution of these core courses in this BA General program. Then the second category, that is discipline specific elective courses. We call it is DSES, discipline specific elective courses. You will find you have to study 4 courses, that is equivalent to 24 credits. That means each course is having 6 credits. So, you have to study 4 courses under this category, that is discipline specific elective. You see friends, discipline specific elective, that is the part of the core course, means the course, the discipline or the subject that you have opted, that you have chosen for your BA General program. You will find certain elective courses from that discipline. So, that will contribute, that will come under this category of discipline specific elective courses. Then the third category is ability enhancement compulsory courses. We call it is AECCS, ability enhancement compulsory courses. You have to study 2 courses of 4 credits each. That means you have to study 8 credits from this category, that is ability enhancement compulsory courses. Then further in the fourth category, that is skill enhancement courses, we call it is SECS. You have to study 4 courses from this category, skill enhancement courses category, and each course is having 4 credits. So, you have to study 16 credits from this category. And in the fifth category, that is called is the generic elective, GES, generic elective courses. So, here in this category you have to study 2 courses of 6 credits each. So, that means you have to earn, you have to study 12 credits. So, friends, I am not going detail about the CBCS pattern of this curriculum. You must have understood about the very concept of the CBCS pattern of curriculum. Yesterday I had taken one session and I have explained about the principles, the philosophy and the components of the CBCS based curriculum, choice based credit system of curriculum. CBCS curriculum says that means with the core courses, with the core knowledge, with the subject specific knowledge, the learners should get sufficient, learners should get adequate skill oriented courses, adequate ability enhancement courses. At the same time, they should get an opportunity to choose a subject, to choose a course from other disciplines also, from across the disciplines also, as per their need, as per their interest, as per their abilities, as per their creativity, as per their aptitude. So, that is why friends, keeping in consideration of the very philosophy, the fundamental philosophy of the CBCS curriculum, what we have done, we have kept a generic elective, we have kept certain generic elective courses to provide opportunity, to provide scope to the learners to select a subject of their choice, to select certain courses of their choice across the discipline. Okay, maybe a social science students maybe select a course from education, maybe select a course from computers, maybe select a course from pedagogy, maybe select a course you can say from communication technology. Okay, so here an opportunity has been given to the learners to select their courses. Then so far as skill enhancement courses are concerned, you see at present, as per the constructivist approach of teaching learning process, as per the need of the hour, as per the need of the you can say the global requirement, the graduated skill that the learners should acquire after completion of this program, that has been properly taken care of it in this program. It means, you see, after completion of this program, the learners, they are supposed to acquainted with the skills which that program requires. Okay, so that's why, because in future, after completion of this program, in future, they're supposed to engage themselves, they're supposed to involve themselves in a different world of work. Okay, so that's why at that time, they will be requiring such skills. Okay, so the skills, competencies, and learning outcomes. Learning outcomes. We are not talking about the specific, specific objectives of teaching. Rather, we are saying that learning outcomes means what are the learning outcomes the learners they're supposed to attend, the learners they're supposed to achieve from a particular content, from a particular course, and from a particular program. Means what type of competencies, what type of learning outcomes, what type of skills, what type of graduated skills they're supposed to earn, they're supposed to acquire from the BA General program. At the same time, from different courses of BA General program. And if I will come particularly to any course from different units or from different content points, what particular skills they're supposed to acquire. That is also properly taken care of when we design this program. So that's why, friends, in these 5 different categories the program has been developed, and as a learner you have to study 132 credits from these 5 different categories. That means from core courses you have to study 72 credits, from discipline specific elective courses you have to study 24 credits, from ability enhancement compulsory courses you have to study 8 credits of 2 courses, and from skill enhancement courses category you have to earn 16 credits, that is from 4 different courses, and in generic elective again you have to study 2 courses that contributes 12 credits. So if you add all these credits, then definitely it will be 132. Friends, now let us proceed forward to understand about these 5 different categories of courses that has been kept in which semester. Friends, as I have already said that this is a 3-year course that is equivalent to 6 semesters. That means 2 semesters in the first year, 2 semesters in the second year, 2 semesters in the third year, and 2 semesters in the third year. So accordingly, you can say that in 6 different semesters you have to complete this entire program. And you see, the first category, that is the core course, you have to study 12 courses, that is equivalent to 72 credits. So here you have to study 12 courses. So how these 12 courses will be, let me to clear. You see, in the first, second, third and fourth semester you have to study one compulsory course. That is the language course, maybe English, Hindi or Indian languages. So one compulsory course in every semester, that is in first to fourth semester. That means one course in first semester, one course in second, then one course in third and one course in the fourth semester. So that is 4 courses. Apart from these 4 language courses, then further what you have to do, you have to select 2 discipline or 2 subject for your program. Okay. As example, let economics you have selected as your first discipline, and the second discipline let you have selected education. So these 2 discipline or 2 subject you have to study across the disciplines. That means you see, in the first semester under these core courses you have to study 1 course from economics discipline and 1 course from education discipline. Okay, so among the disciplines that has been included, among the subjects that has been included, you have to select any 2 subject. Okay, so you have to study one course from that discipline, from that selected 2 discipline, from that selected 2 subjects, which is clearly mentioned in the program, in the common you can say common prospectus, at the same time the program guide of BA General program. Then further in second semester again you have to study 2 course, 1 course from first discipline and other course from the second discipline. Already you have selected the discipline, as example, let that is economics and education. Then in third semester again you have to study one course from both the discipline apart from the language courses. Then in fourth semester you have to study again one course. So friends, here in the first, second, third and fourth semester you have to study four core courses from the first discipline and 4 core courses from the second discipline. Okay. Then further, in the second category, that is ability enhancement compulsory courses, you have to study 2 courses. Okay. That is one in the first semester and other, the second course is in the second semester. First semester course is environmental studies and second semester course, that is English or Hindi communication skill. This is compulsory for all. Then under skill enhancement courses, again you have to study 4 courses of 4 credits each. That means 4 into 4 is 16 credits. So the skill enhancement courses that will start from the third semester, means one course under skill enhancement courses you have to study in third semester, the second course you have to study in the fourth semester, then third course you have to study in the fifth semester, and the fourth course you have to study in the sixth semester. So accordingly, third, fourth, fifth and sixth semester you have to study one skill enhancement courses. So friends, you will find in the common prospectus as well as in the BS journal program guide, you will find a common pool is given. Means this course that the courses that has been arranged, that has been categorized in a common category, in a common pool. So what you have to do, you have to select 4 courses that you want to study under skill enhancement courses. So 16 credits you have to earn from this area, from this skill enhancement courses category. Then further, the fourth category of courses, that is discipline specific elective. So here you have to study 4 courses of 6 credits each. That means 24 credits course you have to study in this category. So the the courses that starts in the 5th and 6th semesters, especially the discipline specific elective courses. Friends, try to understand that what are the courses you have to select. So let me to say that in core courses already you have selected 2 discipline, 2 subject. Let as example, you have selected economics as one of the discipline and education as the second discipline. So what you have to do, already you have studied 4 courses from economics under core courses and 4 courses from education under core courses, that is that is in the first, second, third and fourth semesters. In 5th and 6th semester, what you have to do, the discipline that you have selected, from that discipline certain courses that have been kept under this discipline specific elective area. Okay, so you have to study 1 course from each discipline, means you have selected 2 disciplines, that means 1 course from economics and 1 course from education, that is in the 5th discipline. Then again another 1 course from economics and another 1 course from education, that is in the 6th semester. That means in the 5th semester you have to study 2 discipline specific elective courses from 2 different disciplines, 1 course from each discipline, and the same thing you have to repeat in the 6th semester. Then you have to select 2 courses, 1 each from 2 disciplines that you have selected. That means 1 course from economics discipline and 1 course from education discipline. Friends, I am just giving one example. So here your discipline may be changed. It is as per your need, as per your interest. Okay. Then under generic elective, here 2 courses you have to study. That is the course credit is of 6 credit course, means 12 credits you have to earn under this generic elective courses. So friends, generic elective courses, 1 course you have to study in the 5th semester, and the second generic elective course you have to study in the 6th semester. Okay. And you see the nature of generic elective courses, that has been taken from across the disciplines, you can say, right. So a science student who is pursuing BSc program may take a course as per his need and interest from other discipline. Okay. A social science students can select a course from other discipline to provide wider experience, wider knowledge, wider skill to the learners as per their interest, okay, as per their aptitude. Okay, they can select and they can study and they can acquire certain knowledge and certain skill from across the disciplines, which is the basic principle. That's the fundamental principle, basic concept of the choice-based credit system, which is implemented by University Grants Commission, that is from 2015, and successfully Indira Gandhi National Open University has implemented the UGC CBCS choice-based credit system curriculum in IGNOU in its undergraduate and postgraduate programs. Friends, let us proceed forward to discuss about the courses that today we are going to discuss. So, friends, before discussing the courses, let me to just give a very detailed overview about a brief overview about the courses that has been designed, that is included in education subject, which is part of BA General program, and the structure of education under BA General program as per the CBCS pattern. In the first semester, you have to study one course, that is course code is BESC 131, course title is Education Concept, Nature and Perspective, and as we develop this program in both the languages, the Hindi title of this course is Shiksha Sampratya Prakriti Ebang Paripreksha. It is a 6 credit course. And in the second semester, you have to study another course from education subject, from education discipline. If you have selected education as a subject of your BA General program, in second semester your course will BESC 132. This is the course code, and course title is Structure and Management of Education, Shiksha ki Saranchana Ebang Prabandhan. And in the third semester, that means in second year, in third semester you have to study another course, that is BESC 131. This is the course code, and course title is Curriculum, Teaching, Learning and Assessment, that is Pathacharya, Shikshan Adhigam Tatha Akalan. So, this course you have to study in the third semester. This is a 6 credit course. And in the fourth semester, you have to study another core course, that is Education as a Practice, Abhyas ke roop mein Shiksha, Education as a Practice. So, this is also a 6 credit course, and we have also kept 2 discipline specific elective courses. Okay? So, that you have to study one course in the 5th semester and other course is in the 6th semester. So, that is the third year's course, that is that means in the 5th, one course in 5th and other course in the 6th semester. In 5th semester, we have kept BESE 141, that is ICT in Education. ICT in Education, Shiksha mein Suchana, Sampreshan ebang Pradyogiki. So, this course we have kept in the 5th semester, and in the 6th semester, the last elective course, that is BESE 142 is the course code, and course title is Lifelong Learning, Jivan Paryant Adhigam. This is also a 6 credit course. So, total 36 credit you have to earn from different subjects, from the 6 subjects of education, which is a part of BA General program. So, friends, today we are going to discuss the first semester course, detail about the first semester course, that is BESC 131, Education Concept, Nature and Perspective, and course title is Shiksha Sampratya Prakriti Ebang Paripreksha. So, friends, before going through detail about the courses, let me to go through the program objectives. Let me to go through the program objectives, that is to arouse interest among the learners in studying education as an area of knowledge and an area of practice. Friends, let me to clear that when we talk about education as a discipline, education as a subject, we should understand that whether or what type of knowledge base, what type of understanding, what type of skill, what type of practices you have to earn from this course, from this subject. Friends, you see, let me to say that to be a teacher, to be a practitioner, at the same time to be a professional, to engage in different educational discourses, in different educational you can say interactions. So, you can engage yourself, you can understand the very concept of the different courses, very concept of the contents that has been included in this course, at the same time how to use it, how to practice it as a profession. So, that also you will get a detailed understanding from this subject. Then further, the second objective, that is to develop learners' understanding of education as a discipline from different theoretical perspectives. So friends, a very, you can say, a detailed thematic theoretical perspective that has been discussed in different courses of education. As you know, education, different subjects that contributes to education, just like the theories, the concepts, the principles that has been developed, or you can say the theories and principles, the laws of philosophy. That is, when you go through philosophy, when you try to understand philosophy as a discipline, so mostly we are engaged with the theoretical construct, the theoretical knowledge, the theoretical development, the principles. And when we practice it, means when we practice that theoretical construct, theoretical principles, theoretical, you can say the laws in education, we can say this is a practice area. Accordingly, we can also say that the theories, the principles, the laws that we develop in psychology, we also equally practice it in education. So that's why, friends, this is one of the very pertinent objective of the subject education, which is included in BA General program, that is to develop learners' understanding of education as a discipline from different theoretical perspectives. Okay, so starting from pedagogy and other aspect of knowledge. So it caters, it provides a learners a wider experience about different theoretical perspectives. Let us proceed. Then further, the concept and the courses that has been included in education as a subject in BA program will prepare learners to pursue knowledge and skill in specialized areas of education. Friends, let me to clear that you see, we have developed 6 different courses, okay, under this education subject. 4 are the core courses and 2 are the discipline specific elective courses. 4 core courses are BESC 131, 132, 133 and 134, and 2 elective courses, that is BESE 141 and BESE 142. So friends, try to understand the 2 courses that we have kept under the specialized area, under the elective area, that will provide a wider experience to the learners to understand different aspect of education. Okay, maybe it is related to teaching learning process, maybe it is related to teaching pedagogy, maybe related to guidance and counseling, maybe related to assessment for learning, that is part of the measurement and evaluation. It may be related to school leadership and management, it may be related to curriculum construction. But here what we have done, initially we have kept 2 courses under this discipline specific elective courses, that is ICT in education and lifelong learning. That we consider that it is very much important, very much essential for the students to understand about ICT, information communication technology. And at the present day, at the present time, being a teacher, being a citizen, you must have experienced that the importance of ICT, information and communication technology. You see, in this COVID-19 pandemic situation, you see from 1st of April 2020 onwards, the children, they have not visited their school, but they are continuing their study at their home, okay, by using different online tools. Every day teachers are teaching to them, and from the home, by using their smartphone, by using their laptop, by using their computer, they are engaged with learning. And you see, if I will say that during this time, you will find that most of the teachers, maybe at the school education, maybe at the higher education, they are very much acquainted with the technological tools that can be highly used in the teaching learning process. And friends, let me to say, recently I have conducted a study, I have conducted a research study, and what findings that we got, that I included school teachers as subject of my study. I included the professionals, the professors, those are teaching in higher education system. I have also included the parents and you can say the voluntary organizations also. Okay, and what result I got? They are saying that ICT and technology should be an integrated part of teaching learning process. And you see, this is not only a part of blended learning approach. This is not, ICT is not only the part of online education. Rather, they are very much, you can say, they have given their responses they have said that they want that this ICT and the technologies tools should be included even in the face-to-face education system, in the conventional system of teaching and learning process. Okay, so that's why for facing such type of situation, present day, you will find that ICT is very much important. So that's why keeping in consideration of such skill, such type of knowledge, such type of experience. Okay, so we have kept ICT in education as one of the important course under specialized area, under the elective area. And further, we have also another specialized courses that we have included, that is lifelong learning. So we consider that there is no ending of learning. Learning is a continuous process. At every time, at every moment, at every situation, from every person, maybe a child, maybe an adult, maybe a senior person. Okay, so there is always certain opportunity left to earn something, to gain certain knowledge, to get certain experiences. Friends, when you are visiting different places, meeting different people from different background, you can say, from different culture, you can say. So you are getting an opportunity to understand their culture, to understand their living style, to understand their language, to understand their, you can say, the other aspects that they are managing their life. Okay, so that's why lifelong learning, we consider that the learning starts from the very beginning of the birth and it continues till the death. So this is a continuous process, and this is you can say the process, it starts from cradle to grave. Okay, so throughout the life the process continues. So that's why, friends, we have kept lifelong learning is one of the important course in this BA general program, that is in the subject of education. And friends, this is the beginning only. In future, you will find that many specialized and elective courses that will be included in this program, so that you will get an opportunity to select a subject under this specialized area as per your interest, as per your wish. So that we will do further. But at present, we have included two important courses under the specialized area, under the elective area. Then further, another objective of this program, of the subject of education under BA program, that is prepare learners to provide an academic career in education as an area of knowledge and an area of practice. So friends, try to understand here, every discipline, every subject is having a knowledge base, is having a research base, is having a practice base, is having a skill base. Okay, so such competencies learners should get. So that's what we call, that is the graduated skill. So after completion of your UG and PG program, if I will ask you that what competencies, what knowledge base you have gained, so you should very prone about this. You should acquainted with all such skills. So here, if you select education as a subject, you will acquainted with many educational discourses. Further, that will help you to be a good practitioner, to be a good professional. Let me to say, after completion of this 3-year UG program, BA General program with education as a subject, you can enter in a teaching profession. Okay, you can enter in school administration and management. You can enter work in different education sectors, especially you can say in different different NGOs, non-government organizations, especially in different educational schemes, educational projects. Okay, but here you see the knowledge base, the competencies, the skills that you have acquired, that you have learned, that you have achieved from this undergraduate stage. That means from the subject of education, that will further help you to be a good teacher, to understand better about the pedagogical approaches. So how to practice that approach, how to practice pedagogy in the teaching learning process, how to teach a subject in a better way. So definitely you can do better if you will be a teacher. Further, if you will do a Bachelor of Education degree, that means a B.Ed degree or a type of diploma in elementary education degree. So opportunity are waiting to you. So after completion of this program, if you will enter in teacher education program, the knowledge base that you have earned from the undergraduate stage will definitely help you to be a good teacher if you pursue a teacher education curriculum, teacher education program, because already you have a base from this stage, from the undergraduate stage. You have studied education as a subject, and you are acquainted with pedagogy, you are acquainted with teaching learning process, you are acquainted with tools and techniques that can be used in assessment, you are acquainted with the theoretical construct, the theoretical concept of education, and also you are acquainted with the historical developments, how education as a discipline or how education system that has been developed in this country and over the years starting from the ancient stage till this modern age, till today, how it has been developed, what is the chronology of its development, that also you can better understand. So that's why in philosophical perspective, in psychological perspective, in historical perspective, you will get a very you can say holistic knowledge to understand education as a discipline, to understand education as a subject that will further help you to become a good professional, to become a good practitioner. Friends, now let us move forward to understand about the past course that we have kept in this, which is included in education, that is the past semester course of BA General Program if you have selected education as a subject. The course code is BESC 131, course title is Education, Concept, Nature and Perspective. In Hindi it is Shiksha, Sampratay, Prakriti Ebang Paripreksha. So first we will go through the very objective of this course, then further proceed that what are the different blocks, different units and different knowledge based, different concepts that has been addressed in different blocks and different units. So you see the course will help you to explain the concept, nature and scope of education. So what is the concept of education, what is the scope of education and what is the nature of education, that will help you. We will discuss it elaborately when we will go through different blocks and units. Then to discuss the role of different agencies of education, okay, the role of family as an agency, the role of you can say society as an agency, the role of state as an agency, the role of school as an agency, the role of media as an agency, and what are the interface between and among these agencies and how it helps to the learners to understand education, okay, to shape their personality, to shape their behavior. Okay, so that also one of the objective of this course. Then further to analyze historical development of education in India during the pre and post independence period. I was talking earlier that this course will provide you an understanding. You will be able to analyze and you will be able to acquainted with the historical development of education, means how education system was prevailing during the ancient period in the Gurukul system of education, and further what type of education system was prevailing at the medieval period, okay, at the Buddhist period. Then further during the British time, what shaped education, means what type of educational system was continuing in our country. Okay, it may be means the educational system at the school level, educational system at the higher education level, technical and professional educational level. Then further after independence, how we have shaped our education system. Okay, so that starting from the ancient till the NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, that we have included in this course. Further we will discuss detail about that what particular content that have been addressed in this course. Then this course will also help you to explain the concept of education from the perspective of Indian and Western philosophers. Okay, so different educationists and philosophers, they have contributed a lot for shaping education, for developing curriculum, for developing the teaching learning process. Okay, so we'll discuss that the philosophy, the educational philosophy of different thinkers, different philosophers, maybe Indian and Western. Okay, so how they have contributed towards education, towards the curriculum, towards the education system of this country, that we'll discuss. Then this course will also help you to describe sociological perspective of education with special reference to the process of socialization of the child and their interface between the school and the community. Friends, try to understand. Here you see, we consider school is a miniature of the society. We call that school is a subsystem of the society. Means the spirit of a society, the interface, the interactions, the deliberations in a society, because we live in a family. Okay, we come contact with our immediate society, we come contact with our community, our friend circle, our peer, our interactions that that takes place within the group. So the principles, the concept of a society, that also being implemented in the school, because in school children are coming contact with different other children, they are coming from different background, okay, from different social sections. So in an inclusive setting of school, you will find that all students will sit together, they will interact with each other, and they will learn together by interacting with each other. So that's why the social change that has been taken place, the social norms and standards, social mobility, and the philosophy of society, group, the concept of group living, concept of group interaction, that also being a part of, or that also being an objective of this course, that to develop such type of you can say an understanding among the students about how society contributed us and how we are going to contribute to the society. And further, this course will help you to understand the interactions and the interface between the school and the community. Okay, what is the things which is going on in the school. So where the concept and the spirit where the children are getting, definitely they are getting it from their family, from the community, and from the society. So that's why this is also one of the important part, important objective of this course. Then further, the course will help you to discuss socio-psychological perspective of education with special reference to the use of constructivist approach in education. Friends, I was talking earlier that this course will also help you to understand the pedagogy, teaching learning process, okay, different theoretical constructs. So here you see we have discussed majorly three perspectives of three educational perspectives, you can say, that is contributed, means that is, you can say, first of the historical perspective, to understand education from historical perspective, to understand education from sociological perspective, and further to understand education from socio-psychological perspective. The contribution of psychology, especially the social psychology, or we can say that is the constructivist approach. The contribution of psychology, the contribution of constructivist approach towards education, for understanding education, for shaping educational experiences, for shaping teaching learning process, for shaping school curriculum, okay, for organizing content in school curriculum, okay, in teaching learning process. So that is also being another objective of this course. So basically this course is designed to make you understand about education from sociological perspective, from historical perspective, at the same time from socio-psychological perspective. Friends, let us move now to understand the particular content that has been kept in different blocks and units. You see, the course BESU 131, Education Concept, Nature and Perspectives, that has been designed in 4 blocks and 16 units. You will find 16 units in this course, and that has been arranged, that has been designed in 4 different blocks, block 1, 2, 3 and 4. You see, the title of block 1, that is Concept and Nature of Education, then the second block, that is Philosophical Perspective of Education, third, that is Sociological Perspective of Education, and the fourth block, that is Socio-Psychological Perspective of Education. Friends, I was talking earlier that you see, in the first block we will discuss about the meaning of education, the aim of education, scope of education, agencies of education, means that will provide you a detailed understanding about education as a discipline. What are the different knowledge base that has been addressed in education, okay? And further, I have already said you that this course will provide a detailed perspective and context to understand education. That is also from philosophical perspective to understand education, from sociological perspective to understand education, and from psychological perspective to understand education. Means the contribution in the discipline of philosophy, the concept, the principles, the educational thought of different philosophers has been addressed here, and how education is associated with, linked with, correlated with philosophy. Okay, what is the link? What is the relation between education and philosophy? We consider that philosophy is the theoretical side and education is the contemplative side. Education is the practice side. So one provides the theory and other practice that theory. We say that education and philosophy are just two sides of the same coin. One is the active side and other is the contemplative side. So contemplative side is the philosophy and active side is the education. Means all the principles, theories that has been developed in philosophy that got practiced in education. So that's why, friends, you will get a very clear cut, very you can say brief content based understanding, knowledge based understanding about how philosophy is linked, is correlated with education. And here we will discuss about the contribution of different philosophers, okay, as well as the educationists, Western as well as Indian. Then further in block 3, I have already said that we are the part and parcel of the society. Okay, our interactions, our discourses that that happens in the society. Okay, we can't live in a very isolation. We can't live alone, as we are the part of the society. We are a social being. So that's why society has contributed a lot for shaping our behavior, for understanding. So that's why we should understand the social dynamics. We should understand the social dynamics. We should understand that how society changes, how mobility are taking place in the society. That is also being a part of this curriculum to understand education. So that's why in third block you have to study the sociological perspective of education, and further in fourth block you have to study the socio-psychological perspective of education. You have to understand education, you have to understand teaching learning process, you have to understand the personality of the child, the personality of the student. Okay, when we go through the social, when we understand, when we analyze different attributes of the learner, different attributes of the children, of the students. So that's why the fourth block that has been designed in such a way that will give you a clear cut understanding about socio-psychological perspective of education. Friends, now move towards to understand what are the specific content point that has been kept in block 1, that is concept and nature of education. In block 1, the title is concept and nature of education. Block 1 has been developed in 4 different units. Okay, unit 1, 2, 3 and 4. In unit 1, the title is concept and nature of education. Unit 2 title is scope of education. Unit 3 title is agencies of education, and unit 4 title is historical development of education and overview. Friends, in first unit we will discuss about aims of education. What is the individual aim of education? What is the social aim of education? What is the, you can say, democratic aim of education? We are living in a democratic country. So what is our responsibility for this country? What is our responsibility for this democracy, for living a democratic life? So how to you can say practice the values that has been included in our constitution. So how to implement the constitutional values, that is also part of education. So you may be a student of science, you may be a student of commerce, management, you may be a student of humanities or social science. You see, constitution is above all. Our democratic values is above all. So that's why whenever we are engaged ourselves in any teaching learning process, we engaged ourselves to learn something, we shouldn't forget about the values which is useful, which is beneficiary for the society, for this nation, and I can say that for this world, for this human you can say for this human society, okay, for the entire society. So we have discussed the scope of education in second unit. In scope of education, we have discussed about the formal system of education, informal system of education, at the same time the non-formal system of education. So here you will get a clear idea about means how learning takes place in a formal schooling system. That means in the school, colleges and universities. You are taking admission, face to face you are attending the classes, okay. So you are attending the examination, so that is a system of education. At the same time, another system of education is also there. That is the open and distance learning system, okay. That is, you can say, the non-formal system of education. So here what you are doing, you are also engage yourself in many educational discourses, just like you have enrolled in BA General program in Indira Gandhi National Open University. We provide you adequate, you can say a very good learning material, world-class learning material to you. We have developed material. At the same time, for transacting that material, you see today I am in Facebook live session. We also take session in Gyan Darshan. We also take session in FM radio. Okay, so we try our best to reach at you. So that's why non-formal learners learn, students learn beautifully by using the non-formal system of education. At the same time, informal education, you see I have already said that the concept of lifelong learning that caters the informal learning system. That means every time, every moment, from every situation, from every place, from every person, okay, you have to learn certain things. Okay, you have to get certain experiences. Then further agencies of education that has been addressed in Unit 3. Here we will discuss about home or family as an agency of education. We will discuss about your school as an agency of education, state as an agency of education, media as an agency of education. Every time, every day, we learn many things from media. We learn many things from our family, from our society as an agencies of education, and how interface between these agencies, how you can say family helps for a child to maintain a good school life, how society helps for maintaining a good you can say school life for the children. That also we have discussed. Then further in Unit 4 of this block we have discussed about the historical development of education and overview. So here we have discussed about the ancient system of education, the Gurukul system of education, the rich tradition of our education system. That means how learning takes place in the Gurukul system when the Sishyas were coming close contact with the Gurus. Okay, in oral teaching, at the same time the Guru was engaging the learners in different activities. They were also getting many hands-on practices. They are staying with the Gurus in ashramas. And starting from the system of Gurukul system of education, which was a rich system in our ancient system of education, then further how education has developed and how it reached till today. Further we have discussed about the development of education, you can say that has been taking place in modern time. That means the committees and commissions that has been developed during you can say British time, at the same time after the British time, after independence, that also we have discussed in this course. And friends, the recent development that is I will say that the Right to Education Act, RT Act 2009, which is implemented in India, in our country. We have also discussed about the Niti Ayog, the constitution of the Niti Ayog. We have also discussed about the recent development, that is the National Education Policy 2020, NEP 2020, its fundamental principles and what aspects it caters. That also discussed, because that is also part of to understand the historical development, to understand the chronology of education in this country. So block 1 caters all such things. So friends, now let us proceed to understand block 2. In block 2, 4 units that has been kept in block 2 under philosophical perspective of education, that is education and philosophy, schools of thought. In unit 7, that is contribution of Indian philosophers. Unit 8, that is contribution of Western philosophers. Will provide you an understanding to acquaint yourself for understanding the concept of philosophy and the concept of education, and how education and philosophy are related with each other. You will also acquaint yourself different schools of thought, different philosophical schools of thought, just like you can say idealistic thought, idealism, naturalistic thought, naturalism, and pragmatic thought. Okay, the concept of idealism, the concept of naturalism, and the concept of pragmatism, and how it contributes in the teaching learning process. So far as for designing teaching learning process, what methods, what techniques, what strategies that's supposed to be used, you will find, you will get an overview, you will get a knowledge base and understanding from this unit. And further in unit 7 and 8, we have discussed about the contribution of Indian philosophers, just like Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, Rabindranath Tagore, Gijubhai Badeka, etc. So here you will find that the concept of learning, the concept of education, methods, techniques, relationship between teacher and students, you can say the school environment, that has been given, that has been conceptualized by the Indian philosophers, that is also part of this course. Then further we have also discussed about contribution of Western philosophers. Okay, here we have discussed about Plato, we have discussed about Rousseau, we have also discussed about John Dewey. So it will give a beautiful experience to you. In block 3, we have discussed about the sociological perspective of education, particularly education and society, the concept of society and how it contributes to education. We have also discussed about socialization of the child and how education helps for socialization of the child. Then further we have discussed about the issues and concerns in education. We discussed about equity, we discussed about equality. Only equality is not enough. Okay, so with achieving the equality, which is our constitutional responsibility, we have to achieve the quality and equity. That is also being a part of this course. Then how interface happens between school and community, that is also included in this course. We discussed about the changing nature of the society, the dynamism of the society, social mobility. At the same time, how child behave in a school, how they shape their personality, shape their behavior, because they have come from a family, come from a society. That also we have discussed. Then in the 4th block, we have discussed about the socio-psychological perspective of education. Friends, I have already said you that the theories, principles that has been developed in education, that has been developed in psychology, how it got practiced in education, that we have discussed. So if, this block will acquaint you to understand the methods of educational psychology, the methods of observation, the methods of experiment, the methods of introspection, okay, the method of case study. So that will help you to understand education and to design education, to understand pedagogy. At the same time, we have also discussed about the socio-psychological attributes that has been discussed in unit 16. That means how to understand the motivation, to understand attitude, okay, to understand aptitude, to understand a taste, to understand personality. Okay, so how a child develops personality. Okay, what is the theory behind it? Okay, what is the attitude? How to measure attitude of a child? Attitude of a child towards school, attitude of a child towards teachers, attitude of a child towards himself, that is the self-concept, attitude of a child towards parents, towards the society, towards the school environment. So unless we understand and analyze all such attributes, we cannot be a good teacher. So that's why, friends, all such knowledge, all such informations you will get from block 4. We have also very beautifully discussed the constructivist approach of Vygotsky. You see how teacher help, teacher support to the learners to construct their own knowledge. We understand that the learners who are coming to the school system, they are coming with huge experiences, huge knowledge base. Day to day they have earned it, they have experienced it from the society, from the family, from the persons, from the peers, from the environment also with whom they are dealing every day. So that's why how to use their learning experiences, their life experiences in the teaching learning process, in the curriculum. So if as a teacher, if you are able to connect their life experiences with the curriculum, the children, the students, they will feel that the things which is going on in the school and in the curriculum, that is not something different. That is not the matter of a different world. Rather, that is the matter of their own world. Okay, so they will explore themselves in the school, that the things which is going on, everything is of their own. So this knowledge base, this understanding, these practices, skills you will get from block 4. Then further, friends, I will just conclude within 2-3 minutes. Here you see, for transacting this curriculum, we have adopted a very good transaction methodology. Just like we will provide you complete self-learning material, already the material is in your hand. That is in eGyanKosh portal that has been uploaded both English and Hindi. This is also available in IGNOU Students app. So please download it. At the same time, you might be now getting the hard copy, the printed hard copy material from MPDT. So that will help you a lot for pursuing their course. Then further, the counseling session will be conducted at the study center under the regional center. That is part of our course transaction. Then so far as assessment is concerned, you will get the tutor mark assignment of 30% credit, then term and examination of 70% credit. So you have to do the assignment, at the same time you have to appear the term and examination. And the regular TC, teleconferencing and IRC we conducted. At the same time, regular Facebook live session also will conduct to make us reach at you, okay, to help you to understand your course. Then the audio video material is also another important part of transaction of this program. You see, the course will be evaluated in a 10-point grading scale, and the minimum grade point, that is the D, for successful passing out the assignment as well as the term and examination. Okay, so if you earn below D grade, that means below 35% of marks, it will consider as fail. So you have to earn at least D grade, and I wish you to earn a very good grade, always maybe outstanding grade O, or maybe A plus or A grade. Then you have to successfully complete on both the component, not only one component. So that's why here clear cut this has been mentioned that you have to earn 35%, at least 35%, both in continuous evaluation, that is assignment, as well as in term and examination of every course, okay, for successful completion of this course. So friends, this is all about the concept of the first course, BESc 131, Education Concept, Nature and Perspectives. I assured you that I will take many Facebook live session to make me reach at you, and whenever you face any difficulties, you can write to me, you can just send a mail to me, you can also make a telephone call to me. I will try my best to solve all your learning difficulties. Thank you.